This is an excerpts from Shameless on 2nd Avenue. All this bother for 5 seconds of footage. It was Saturday morning and our headquarters for this particular shoot was Russell's apartment on 2nd Avenue near 12th Street. Everything was ready to go except for the star of the segment. It's now or never, Jim said, and suddenly he, Russell, Dirk, Rose, and Angie were all staring at me expectantly. I pulled off my polo shirt, then undid my belt, dropped my jeans, and took them off. Now I was wearing nothing but navy blue bikini briefs. Angie came up to me with a blue towel. "Here's your cape, honey," she said, draping it over my back and safety pinning it under my chin. "Can I get a bathrobe or something?" I pleaded. "I'm not going out without a bathrobe." On cue, Russell tossed a bathrobe from his bedroom. I caught it in one hand and put it on. The sleeves were several inches too long for me, but it would have to do. Enough stalling. On with the show. En masse, we descended the staircase of Russell's apartment building. Dirk, Russell, and Rose all carried pieces of video equipment. Angie carried my crown and scepter. Jim carried a couple of very ripe tomatoes. It was a sunny summer morning, and 2nd Avenue was teeming with activity. Old Russians on their way to the deli, punks on their way to Soho or Alphabet City, young urban professional couples pushing strollers, young single professionals riding bikes on the street or roller skates on the sidewalk, and of course, a guy in a bathrobe and a video crew gathering on the corner. Russell set up shop on the edge of the sidewalk next to a wrought iron fence. The segment was a fake ad for a fake magazine called Paranoia Today, a takeoff of Paranoid tabloids. Segments included AIDS, the toilet seat connection, and people are talking about you. My segment was part of the intro. Do you ever get the feeling that people are making fun of you? It features the emperor with no clothes walking down 2nd Avenue with people laughing at him. Russell was ready. Dirk, Rose, and Angie were all set to walk by from the opposite direction, point and laugh. Jim was poised with the tomatoes. Russell pointed to me. "All right, Rob, we're ready for you." I took off the bathrobe and hung it on the fence. I put on my crown and picked up my scepter. Then I walked about 30 feet down the sidewalk away from the camera. Everything was okay. I'd worked out. I lost my spare tire and love handles months ago. I was no Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I had a slim, muscular body. I glanced down briefly at the bulging navy blue parcel beneath my waist and found myself wondering exactly what constituted indecent exposure under the law. As people walked to and fro, I avoided making eye contact with them. I kept a confident smile glued on my face, even though my pulse was racing and my cheeks were beginning to flush. Then I noticed something. No one was looking at me. This was, after all, New York City. How many times did I walk down the street seeing people wearing outlandish clothing? How many leather queens? How many women in tight leather pants, vinyl pants? How many half-naked homeless people in rags? How many hookers with hot pants wedged way up their butts? How many punks with shaved heads that were green or orange mohawks? Why would anyone pay the slightest attention to a guy in bikini briefs, wearing a towel cape and carrying a crown and scepter? Strangers passed by. I now looked right at them, but they never even glanced in my direction. I smiled warmly at a middle-aged woman walking some kind of lapdog down the street. I stooped and patted the dog until the woman, looking off in the distance with a slight smirk, managed to pull the dog forward again. I was invincible. "Action!" Russell called. Shielded by my newfound aura, I marched confidently down 2nd Avenue in my blue bikini briefs, never so proud in all my life. Dirk, Rose, and Angie all passed by on cue, pointed and laughed at me. And it was okay because they were all my friends. They just wanted the scene to work. It was a glorious moment. I was king of the world. Something struck me in the face hard enough to jolt my head back, and then my ears ring and my cheeks tingle. Jim just stood laughing behind the camera about 6 feet away. He was supposed to lob the tomato gently into my face. Instead, he had launched it right in my face from point-blank range. Tomato juice now dripping down my chin. I looked at him in shock and betrayal. "Cut," Russell called out, and everybody laughed. So that's Shameless from on 2nd Avenue. Thank you.